Christmas tree and millions of little presents underneath, with the fire glowing in the corner, with all the Christmas stockings stuffed with all the little presents for me. And then my brother, well, let's be frank, my asshole brother, dropped the bomb on me when I was 8 years old. There is no Santa Claus, he jeered. What? Well, of course, I didn't believe him, so I said, just to spite him, I'm going to stay up all night, and I'm going to see Santa Claus come down that chimney and give me a special Christmas present, which you're not going to get. So I was all ready. I was laying on the couch in front of the Christmas tree. My face was directly in front of the fireplace, waiting for him to come down. My mother tucked me in, like the sweet lady she is, and said, "Good night." And I said, "I'm not going to fall asleep, Mom. I'm not going to fall asleep." I swear, a minute went by and I was passed out on the chair. So when I woke up, it was exactly what I dreamed. The Christmas tree, the presents, the stockings, the fireplace, and the only thing I could do was cry. I cried and I cried and I ran to my mother's room and I said, "Mom, oh my God!" And she's like, What is it? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm waking my mother up with my screaming. What is it? And I'm like, I missed Santa. And I swear I could hear my father laying on the other side of the room. And he's just like, my life. And my mother's like, oh, that. Yeah. I am so sorry. You think that makes up for it? I miss Santa. He's like, yeah, it's okay. So I slept with her for another, hour? Until we finally went down and got my brother up. The sweet lady she is, she didn't tell him that I didn't see Santa. Of course, she didn't tell him that I did see Santa, but that's fine. We went up and we unwrapped all the presents. Everything was going great. And we packed up to go to my grandmother's house, which we always did every Christmas because, well, she made the best food ever. I'm not gonna lie, I picked out those days. Every other day or whatever. So when we got there, of course I waited for my brother to be in the other room. I said to her, "Grandma, I didn't see Santa, and my brother said, he said that he doesn't exist." Well, now, you gotta know my grandma. She is rigid. She is like an original Judge Judy, except worse. I don't know about all the people that were born in the 1920s, but they must have, eaten some atomic bomb or something, because there's something up there. Anyway, she never lies. She always tells the truth. So she looked right at me and said, "No Santa Claus. Where the hell did you get that idea? There is a Santa Claus. That rumor has been going around for years, and it pisses me off." And I'm just like, "Okay, Grandma. Yeah." And so she said, "Now you go to that window, and you look out that window, and you tell me what you see." And I looked out the window, and there was this really ugly house. It was run down. Everything was dirty. There was crap on the front lawn. I mean, it's Christmas, guys. Who do you think you are? Get in the spirit. Put up some freaking lights or something. Anyway, I said, "Grandma, what's going on there?" And she said, "Get your coat on." And I said, "All right." So we got in the car and we drove all the way to Walmart. She lives in the middle of nowhere, so this was an hour drive. And I was like, "Grandma, why?" She handed me a $10 bill, and she said, "I'll wait for you in the car, and you go to Walmart, and you pick out something nice for anyone who lives across the street there." And I said, "All right." So I went in the store, and I looked around. Of course, I was 8. The only shopping I did was with my mom. And every time I went, she got something for me. What the hell was I doing there? So I went, and I looked around for at least 10 minutes. Grandma was going to be mad. It was taking so long. And I finally thought, you know what? I'm going to get something nice for the little kid who lives across across the street. And I remember that one year I saw him come out, and he wasn't wearing a coat. He was wearing maybe some shorts, a t-shirt, really grungy kid. The kind you don't play with. That's like, ew. So I said, you know what, I'm a good person. I do good things for people all the time, so I'm going to pick out something nice for that kid. And you know, there's all these glorious toys, and everything was just gorgeous. There was chocolate, there was trucks. And I said, you know what, this kid, I bet he'd like to play in the snow like any other kid. So I went to the back of the store, and I found this gorgeous coat that was red, it had a hood to it, it was real warm. I bet he'd like that, real warm coat. That's what any kid wants. So I grabbed it, I took the $10 bill, I went to the cash register, and I said, here's the coat, here's the money, wrap it. And she looked at the coat, and she looked at the money, and then she looked at me, and she's like, is this a Christmas present for someone? No, I'm giving it to Santa. And she's like, all right. So she wrapped it up real nice, and she put it in the plastic bag, and then she handed it to me. She didn't give me any change. What is that about? So I ran back to the car, and I gave the coat to Grandma, and I said, okay, you're going to give it to the boy now? And she's like, no, you are. I don't know this kid. He's a kid on the other side of the playground that's just like, ew. So we drove back to her house, and I wrapped the present up real nice. Of course, you know, it was real nice for my age, but now when you look at it, it's like it's like what they see on your front lawn. It wasn't real nice. So it was kind of dark by then, and we walked over, and we were hiding in the bushes like Santa's elves. And we were just waiting there, and I was waiting there for about 5 minutes, freezing, even with my warm coat that I could afford. And I was just sitting there like, okay, Grandma, what are we going to do now? And she nudged me, and she's like, all right, Santa Claus, you go up and put that present there. I was like, by myself? Really? You sure I'm not going to get mugged on the way there? She's like, no. I'm like, fine. So I grabbed the present, and I zoomed up to the front door, and I slammed it down, I pressed the doorbell twice, and I ran back to the safety of Grandma. And this little kid, he comes out, he looks around, he sees no one because we're ninjas. He picks up the present and walks right back inside. That day, shivering in the bushes with my grandma, didn't know what the hell I was doing there. I knew Santa was real. He was alive and well, even though I didn't see him, and I cried my eyes out because of it. And my brother was probably going to be like, you didn't see him. Well, I'm going to be like, well, I'm on Santa's team, jerk face. And it was true. I, the 8-year-old, was on Santa's team. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.